All right, y'all, what's up? We back. We a little late today because I went to go see my grandparents this weekend. Had a nice, relaxing weekend. Went to church this morning for the first time in a while and got to hear the word, be in the house of the Lord. But then I'm finishing my day talking about this demonic stuff. But if y'all are new here, please hit subscribe. Do that right now. Do it right now. We're on the road to 10K. Thumbs up the video. Drop a comment down below. Y'all been showing love all season. We are almost finished with the season. As we all know, the reunion filmed on Thursday. If y'all did not watch it, go watch on MovieBay's page. Go click on it. Subscribe to her as well. We did go ahead and talk a little bit about it, of what we knew, because it happened we did that on Friday, which it happened Friday morning. But I think I'm going to do a video either Tuesday or Wednesday about what we know now as of what's been quote unquote solidified and what's transpired since then. I think I'm going to do that, give y'all my thoughts a little bit more elaborated. But yeah, this episode was kind of good. It was kind of good. And the storyline's starting to move along. I'm very intrigued with seeing next week. As we know, we now get into what I've been waiting to see. How this Jela versus Dolly, then Lex situation ends up happening. So, but yeah, we get into it. That's next week. We got a good episode to talk about. Let's go ahead and get on into it. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go. All right, so we get back to where we left off, which was Summer and Anna versus Summer. Scotty and Anna versus Summer. And Scotty ends up kicking Summer halfway across the balcony. Hilarious. We knew Scotty could do that because Scotty got a lot of power in them thick legs. But Alexis is up there now with Summer, which, I mean, I can't even be mad at her because, like, it is 2v1 at this point. Even though Summer started it, as a friend, you should be up there with your friend when it's a 2v1. So she's up there now, and Jazz is downstairs clocking Summer, saying how Summer started the shit as usual, which she did, and pretty much told him, like, y'all know I don't care for her, and it still stands as that. I love Jasmine. Jasmine said something later on, which literally proves exactly why I love her, because she thinks like I do. But Anna and Summer, they're going back and forth verbally at this point upstairs. And Scotty then tries to sneak Summer. Anna then comes running out of nowhere trying to swing on her too, and then Alexis starts jumping in swinging on Anna. Rightfully so. I'm not mad at her. Y'all know I don't like Alexis. Don't. Unapologetically, her fans know that. They can't stand me for it, but guess what? I stand on my word. I don't like her. It is what it is. But I fully agree with her doing this. Like, even though I don't care for Summer been jumping all season, this is what a friend is supposed to do. So Lex did what she was supposed to do. And she says, essentially, as soon as they said it's 2v1, that's when I'm going to jump in. That's what you should do. But Scotty, she then ends up throwing Summer's wig over the balcony, which we see them dirty ass braids that she needs to go ahead and get washed. You got a friend, Dolly, who does hair. She can go ahead and take them braids out and wash her hair and go ahead and restyle it, do what she needs to do, because that is disgusting. That is disgusting, but it's on brand for Summer. But the girls, they're on the side, like Tasiki, Jela, Natalie, Tinkabellaaa. They're over there on the side with Summer because they noticed Scotty threw that wig over the balcony and they looking for it over the balcony. Why, as they're doing that, because Scotty and Alexis go down there to go get the wig. As the girls are looking over the balcony, here comes Anna beelining for Summer and starts to swing on her. Damn near over the balcony. I was like, oh my gosh. This is 2 safety hazards in like, what, 3 or 4 episodes? Because y'all remember what happened last with Rollie and Slim, where Rollie about knocked her over the balcony too. I'm like, these security, where y'all at? But Scott, they break that up. Scotty and Alexis, they downstairs getting the wig. Excuse me. Summer, she ends up going off to her room, and Dolly's back there because I was wondering where she was at. But Dolly's trying to figure out why they jumping and whatnot. And Dolly ends up saying they're lucky that she wasn't there. Dolly, you need to be lucky that you weren't there because your hand is already hurting. You need to relax. You need to relax. Alexis was up there, so you good. But you need to relax, let that hand heal. But Scotty and Tinkabellaaa, they're walking by Summer and Dolly at this point. Summer sees her and throws some water over there trying to hit Scotty, but it ends up getting on Tinkabellaaa as well. And of course, Scotty and Summer, they start going back and forth verbally. One second, I got to get this out of my throat. All right, we back. Scotty and Summer, they're going back and forth verbally. Just going back and forth. And Anna's sitting there laughing, which then leads to her and Summer going back and forth. It's just so much going on, I'm not even dissecting it. But Scotty then throws her heel over there in between security to get to Summer. And Scotty ends up saying, you can keep the heels because you need it. She do. She ain't lying. But they then split them up. The girls that don't even live in the house, they start going upstairs. And the girls that stay there, Summer, i.e. Dolly, Alexis, all of them, they're still downstairs. Summer's still running her mouth and saying that she owned that even when they go to the club. Alexis and Dolly, they sitting there saying like, no, like, calm her down. We done with that. And they pretty much try to hype her up to go to the club, have a good time. So we then get a scene of Rollie outside with Scotty. Scotty's over there trying to see what's up with her. And Scotty is sitting there taking accountability and apologizing for bringing up what she said to Natalie. And says she apologizes for how it might come off. Rollie's saying, like, I love you too, but at the end of the day, I'm tired of you and Natalie on that shit. You're only tired of it because it now is against you. Like, you're not tired of their antics when it doesn't concern you, which is why I don't feel bad for Rollie. Like, yes, she could be saying some real stuff in the moment, but you don't get no empathy from me because you literally only have an issue with it when it doesn't go your way. And it never works that way. You don't get empathy and sympathy from me when you only talk about it when it applies to you. But Scotty, she continuing to apologize to her, which is better than me. But Rollie ends up saying, y'all are a bit too much for me and shit's going to have to change for me to do another season. I said, lie again. You know, and everybody else watching this show knows, you will be back every single season because you need this check. You're not going to get another job anywhere else. You know this is the only way that you're going to keep steady income. So, please. But Rollie, she ends up saying that she feels like the fans got into Scotty's head trying to get her to be messy. I mean, to a certain degree, I would agree with that probably a couple seasons ago. But I just feel like Scotty might be at this point trying to stand up for herself. Like, for the most part, this season, she stood up for herself. When it came to Emma, she stood up for herself. When it comes to Summer, she stood up for herself. So I don't think this is her doing fan service. You and a couple other people be doing fan service. Even though I will say about Rollie, she don't care what the fans think about her. Truth be told, she don't. She don't. I'll give her that. Because she's A-okay with being she's A-okay with being a villain on social media. But as we saw last week, she don't know if she want to be the villain or the victim. But Rollie ends up saying, like, it's weird how they, talking about the OGs and stuff, calling the new girls newbies, as if they're not baddies as well. Some of them aren't. And talking about how them as OGs, they walking around like they shit don't stink. And I'm like, you only saying this because you now are mad that you didn't get your way with Natalie. You walk around like your shit don't stink. You swear you better than everybody else. So it's like, it's just rich coming from you. But they hug it out. I said, Scotty, love yourself because that's not your friend. But we get a get ready montage as normal. The only notables, Summer looks cheap as always. Jela always look good, giving you that model walk off that she does at least once a season where she's in the camera walking off, making that face, cracks me up. But the new girls, they're on their sprinter, talking about what they want to expect from the night, going out to Hawaii, whatever. And in the OG sprinter, we got Natalie saying that Ahna, Biggie, and Tasiki said that they wanted to go to bed instead of going out to the booking. And Natalie is rightfully aggravated and pissed off because she's like, we promoted the booking, had the flyers and everything. You're on the flyer, which to a certain degree, certain people probably want to see certain girls. Which, and I got like an eye booger. I'm on the wrong eye. Sorry, y'all. I'm tired. But certain people, when you promote stuff, they come to see certain girls. Like, certain people come to see certain people. Like, yes, there are baddies as a group, but there's certain people want to see. And I'm pretty sure certain people wanted to see Tasiki and Ahna and Biggie. So for them to not be there, it's like y'all are messing up the bag. Well, I don't want to say messing up the bag because the people are still going to go. But you still have that's your job. As ghetto as this show is, it is a job. You're employed to be here, so you need to be here. Going to bed instead of going to get your money. If I was Natalie, they wouldn't get paid for this booking. But Natalie ends up saying, like, Hawaii never books the baddies, so this is a new thing for them. This is like opening a new lane for them, which is good. But Jayla's talking about how everybody wants to like Summer. They moved to talking about Summer. Everybody wants to like Summer, but she ends up fucking it up for herself because she continues to talk herself out of people liking her, continuing to insert herself in shit. I'm like, yeah, that's true. Like, it is true. But Summer ends up saying in her sprinter, saying that she's on 10 because they tried to jump her. I said, but you've been jumping multiple times this season, so it's called karma. But she said them bitches gonna be looking mad and stale as fuck at the club. I said, Anna and Scotty can look mad and stale, but they look way better than you. The shit that you be putting on, I don't understand it. I don't. But Nunu, she ends up saying like they feel like you're a little bit too extra. And she says, well, I'm still gonna be extra. I'm not gonna do nothing about it. I'm not gonna change anything. They're not gonna do anything about it to stop it. That's what Summer's saying. But Scotty ends up saying that Rollie is there and she took a picture in front of some sign or whatnot. And Natalie was me. Natalie said, I do not care. Like, who cares? But Rollie, she gets to the club by herself solo first. And she's claiming that she got there solo and took the car solo because she didn't want no drama and didn't want to hear all the drama. I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay. Says the person that just started all the mess that just happened at the last one. But the other sprinters, they get to the club. The fans are outside and whatnot. We get the club montage. For the most part, they had a good time. There was a fight that broke out in the middle of the club, but for the most part, they all had a good time. The next day, we get a scene which is so clearly produced. You got Natalie Nunn, Biggie, and Jaden. Natalie who don't like Biggie, Jaden who don't like Biggie, Biggie who don't like Jaden, and half the time don't like Natalie. Why would they be in a scene together? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Why would they want to sit and have a conversation together? That's how you know certain scenes are set up, and this is one of them. But Natalie's pretty much telling them, like, they're going to have fun today because they're essentially in Hawaii to be a vacation because she claims they have worked so hard in them other cities. This is their vacation to wrap up the season. So she wants to go parasailing, which I'm like, okay, cool. Finally, we get to see something fun. And Biggie's not comfortable with that idea. I don't blame her because if I was Biggie, I'd be a little concerned too, if you catch what I'm saying. But Jaden ends up saying that they need to do it as like a bonding moment. Like doing all this fun stuff is going to be a bonding moment, of course. But it never happens that way. We all know. But Biggie ends up asking Natalie if she talked to Tommy. And she says yes. Like Tommy thought that shit was funny. Like she thought it was a prank. And she was like, I was having fun. Biggie says like she talked to her too, but it's still traumatic. And Jaden's like, yeah, well, Tommy shouldn't be allowed at any event now at this point. I said, because if y'all leave her alone, she would have never did what she did. Like, granted, she had it there, but I guarantee you, if they would have left her alone and wasn't trying to press her and walk up on her like that, she wouldn't have had to use it. Like, I don't see Tommy. Yes, Tommy is crazy, but I don't see her pulling that out if they weren't pressing her. Like, Tommy can be cool and calm and collected. Y'all just decide to make her get crazy. And we all know she's crazy. So, like, why continue to try and make her do that? But Tasiki then joins them with some interesting look that she put on. I don't know why she keep doing it. But Jela and Scotty, they're outside the hotel having a conversation. Scotty's telling Jela about her conversation that she had with Rollie. And Jela ends up saying that she feels her and she feels like her and Rollie can bounce back from whatever disagreement it was because Rollie, at the end of the day, knows that she wasn't laughing at her. I said, Jela, it couldn't be me. You are too forgiving of people that you don't fight. First of all, you should have never been friends with Rollie to begin with. Me, I don't. If I fight somebody, we're not going to be friends. Can we be cordial in the same space? If I no longer have smoke for you, yeah. But we're never going to be friends. I will never trust anybody that I fight because they're not your friend. They're always looking for the second, especially somebody like Rollie. They're looking for the opportunity to get you back. Waiting on it. But Ahna and Tinkabellaaa, they join them. Tink says this is the perfect opportunity for her to address Jela and Scotty. And Jela ends up saying that she hates how the situation went down, but Tinkabellaaa at least gave them the chance to explain it. And Jela ends up taking accountability, says, like, I took accountability for it because I don't want anybody to feel like I have no regard for their feelings and how they feel in certain situations. Jela is better than me. Because me, personally, I would not be apologizing. Because I don't feel like Jela or Natalie was doing anything wrong in that moment. Y'all was arguing and shit because they weren't well, Natalie, after the fact, she made light of the situation, but Jela was laughing when they were, well, Natalie was too though. They were laughing while they were bickering and arguing, which we all were doing watching at home. And me, the person I am, I naturally laugh in situations that probably I shouldn't, but I laugh at shit that's funny. And if I'm laughing and it's funny, I'm laughing and it's funny. Now, if somebody gets I wouldn't be even though I laughed at that. I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite, but guess what? Accountability. I typically would not be laughing if somebody gets, but in the guise of what we've been watching and seeing how it was instant karma, it was funny to me. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was. But I just don't understand why they were mad at them. Besides what we already know, the reason as to why they were mad, they're just lashing out. But Ahna ends up saying that she feels like Jela and Natalie could have done more and consoled them a lot more, which they could have. But They still reached out. I don't know about Jela, even though we didn't get to hear for sure if she did or not. But we know Natalie reached out via text. Whether that was enough or not, Rollie is a grown-ass woman. If y'all missed the conversation that me, Movie Bay, and Legend had on live on Monday, I broke it down, but I'm going to break it down again. Natalie reached out to her. Yes, she could have done more. She could have went and checked up on her physically, could have been there by her side, but Natalie at least reached out to her. Me, if I was Natalie, that would have been all you would have gotten from me. But you probably wouldn't have gotten anything from me anyways, because I sat there and watched you literally involve yourself in some shit that had nothing to do with you, and you ended up paying for it. I'm not going to feel bad for you. Why would I feel bad for you when you started with somebody who you know is crazy, who you know has had a history of bringing weapons, and you decided that you wanted to get up in her face? That's called self-defense. Yes, it's a little extreme, but we're talking about Tommy. That's nothing out of the ordinary. You should have expected that. So yeah, no, I don't feel bad for her. But they start talking about Tinkabellaa's pellets, that the metal pellets that's still in her arm. Again, I don't feel bad. Because just like I said about Rollie, if Tinkabella would have minded her business, she wouldn't have gotten shot either. Because guess what? Rollie and Tommy had history of beef, which it was equal on both sides. Tommy don't even know Tink like that. So you inserted yourself trying to get a moment. But they then move on to talking about Summer, and Ahna ends up saying that every time Summer opens her mouth, she's gonna hit her in her mouth and Summer essentially keeps getting involved in her shit the way she be doing her. I don't know what I just said, but essentially what I just said is the same. Ahna and Summer, Legend called it at the beginning of the season. They are literally splitting. You put a mirror in front of them, they're going to see each other because they literally are the same person. The only difference is Ahna is a lot more well put together physically than Summer is, and she got more money than Summer. But they are literally the same person. They both got a lot of mouth. They both talk a lot of shit, and they both get involved in other people's shit. So it's just funny how it's finally coming to a head. But Jela ends up letting them know essentially that they're going parasailing, and me personally, I said, I know Rollie is not going parasailing, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But the new girls, they're sprinter. They're on the way to parasailing. Ivory says she don't want to get in that water. Dolly is visibly looking nervous because she don't like heights. Nunu is trying to make sure that everybody can swim. Summer cannot swim. So they start recapping the club and whatnot. Nunu then proceeds to ask Summer about the situation with her and Scotty and Ahna. And Summer ends up saying like it's some weak bitch shit to jump in the shit. Yes, it is weak to jump, but you do the same thing too. So it's karma. In this instance, I don't feel bad for Summer because you do it too. You've done it. So it's karma. Like when it's karma situations, like when you've done something and it gets done to you, I don't feel bad for you. I don't. I do not. But Nunu ends up asking if it's still up between them. And Summer says, yeah, it is. And they know it is too. But Summer ends up also saying that she's never been jumped in her life before. And that was the first time that she had ever been jumped. And she says that they're weak as fuck, so line it up. So Nunu ends up saying that she is not with the jumping shit, but she understands friends wanting to jump in and have their friends back. But if you ever jump her, it's forever up. And you better be ready to catch that one. I feel you 100%. 100%. Because I always say, you jump me. I'm down to fight anybody. Even at 30 years old, even though I don't start mess and I choose to not be involved in physical fights at my age. But if you ever take it upon yourself, and I've said this since I was a kid, if you ever take it upon yourself to want to jump me, if it's multiple people in my face, if you don't give me a fair one, you better hope I'm not like Tommy. You better hope I don't have something on hand. Because if I do, I'm using it. I'm not using my hands. I'm not using my face. When it's a jumping situation, I'm not. So I feel Nunu. But Dolly ends up saying it's crazy how they always say they're not going to do the jumping stuff, but they always allow other people to jump. True, but Alexis starts jumping in, talking about how pissed off she is. And then Paula is in her confessional saying it's rich coming from Dolly because Dolly be jumping too. I said, ooh. But Alexis then says, essentially, we can show them a little bit of something because they talking about how we can learn something from them, but they can really learn something from us because I haven't learned anything from them. Jasmine. It's right here some shit I would say. This is why I love Jasmine. Y'all don't like her, but Jasmine has a lot of personality traits that I resonate with. She's just on some grown woman shit. She ain't childish. She ends up saying, Lex, Dolly, and Summer are saying that they're not learning anything from the OGs. I can't relate because y'all came here to be with a bunch of other bitches around y'all's age trying to be a bad bitch. Can't nobody teach me because I'm already that. I said exactly. And you can see it. Like Jasmine carries herself like she is really that. Dolly, a part of that trio, the only one that carries herself physically, appearance-wise, as a baddie is Dolly. Dolly is the one I like the most because Dolly has the most potential. If you take out Dolly starting the fights that she started, Dolly is a good baddie. She is great to watch on TV when she's not starting shit. When she's just minding her business, she's a good baddie. And she, contrary to popular belief, some people don't like her fits. I like the fact that she takes risks when it comes to her outfits. For the most part, her hair is always looking good. Like, Dolly looks good, and she's a pretty girl. And she fights. Like, if only she just fought whenever it was brought to her, then I wouldn't have an issue with Dolly, period. But they get to the parasailing place, and just the way they got off that sprinter just tells you who's a baddie and who ain't. That's all I'm going to tell you. But they get in the boat. They're waiting on the OGs to come. The OGs, their sprinter comes, and Jela doing her model walk. And Rollie says she's parasailing. I said, I'm scared because it's probably going to come right down. But they get in the boat with the newbies. And Natalie and Rollie, they're sitting there talking. I said, Rollie, you ain't that mad, clearly. But the boat heads on out. The instructors start pretty much running them on the process on how to do it and whatnot. And Ivory, which, again, if you didn't watch, what did I do? My mid-season report cards. Ivory is extremely likable on the show. I've loved this version of her that we've seen, and I hope she keeps it this way going forward. She's 21, so it's like I want to give her grace for what she's done in the past, even though I will never get over her throwing piss on somebody, which is why I can never fully say I really like Ivory, but she's been extremely likable this season. But she's like, are we going up in the sky? Anna says, I'm not. Summer says, I know, because I'm going to have both y'all bitches, Summer and Scotty, on this boat. I said, oh, here we go. So they start going back and forth. And Scotty ends up saying she don't argue with bitches like Summer. And Summer says, yeah, because you don't speak at all. Anna and Summer both end up telling, not Anna and Summer, Anna and Scotty end up telling her to shut up. And Summer ends up saying, I dare y'all to shut me up. And Scotty says, I just did the other night. I was like, they get each other. But Tasiki ends up asking Summer if she wants a fair one, like a one-on-one with both of them girls. And she says, yes, line it up. So she ends up claiming that she is going to throw them overboard. And Anna said, who you throwing overboard? Summer says, bitch, don't worry. Anna says, crumb bucket, relax. And Ivory was sitting there laughing just like I was. But Summer is now standing up at this point. And Scotty is too, because she's facing Scotty, which you should. Scotty, get up. And Summer ends up saying that Scotty and Anna got her fucked up. And Anna says, you got yourself fucked up. And Summer ends up saying too, Anna and Scotty got to line it up. And Scotty starts twerking in her face. Summer ends up saying, we don't want to see that cottage cheese, that spoiled milk. That was funny. I'm not going to lie. Not a fan of Summer anymore. There's nothing y'all can do to make me like her anymore. Yeah, there's nothing anybody can do to make me like anybody. If I don't like them, I don't like them. But regardless, I don't like that girl no more. But she had me laughing in that moment. But Scotty ends up saying, please, like, I've been dancing on you all season. You ain't say shit then. True. But Scotty ends up saying, you can't argue with a bitch like Summer because she always going to talk. You just got to hit her. I said, exactly. Now do it. Do it. But Scotty and Summer, they're in each other's faces now. And Summer ends up saying, on my mama, bitch. Scotty says, on your mama, on your mama. That shit cracked me up. Scotty had me weak. But Summer ends up trying to throw something at her, and Scotty flinches. They both starting to try and kick at each other at this point, and security is restraining them. Alexis starts jumping up, and she ends up over there with Anna, and they start going back and forth. Anna ends up saying that Summer threw a shoe and it hit her, which is why she was getting up, which she did throw something, like I said. But Biggie ends up getting motion sickness because the boat's going faster. They're up here doing all this. It's a lot going on. But Summer is still running her mouth, and Biggie is agitated. But on Natalie's boat, it's the polar opposite. They actually having a good time over there. It's chill. Like, they having a good time. They laughing and stuff. And Jazz, Jayla, Paula, they're the first ones to get on to parasail. Look front of me. I will be up there with them. But Scotty and Ivory, they go next. Dolly and Jaden. Y'all are brave as fuck. Because guess who they was with? Rollie. Tinkabellaaa cracked me up. Tinkabellaaa said, y'all said that Rollie about to go parasail? Couldn't have been me. I said that part. But back on the boat, Biggie ends up saying that she was not getting up there in the air because at this point, Summer and Alexis, they up in the air on the parasail. And she's like, it was too much bad energy. So Ahna and Biggie are talking out their issues with Nunu at this point. And Anna's pretty much saying like, she ain't talk bad about Nunu. She just wanted to do a joint confessional with Biggie. Y'all remember that joint confessional they did after they jumped her. And Biggie's claiming that she wasn't jumping Nunu. Nunu broke it down perfectly. She said if it's a one-on-one and another person comes in and starts hitting, trying to get their licks in, that's called jumping. That's exactly what y'all did. Anna and Nunu was fighting. And no, was it Anna? Actually, it was Biggie. The first time, but then they switched because Ahna and Nunu was fighting, and then Biggie comes trying to jump. They always jumping Nunu. Regardless, the fact of the matter is Nunu got jumped multiple times by them too. But Biggie, she's avoiding taking accountability. So they start going back and forth. And Nunu says, do you still have smoke? Biggie says, you said you was going to buy me a new wig. Nunu said, I ain't say I was buying you shit. And she didn't. I said, exactly. But Nunu ends up, Nunu is hilarious. She is without a doubt one of my favorites. I hope Nunu gets invited back to go to Africa and invite her back to do a full season. We know she was on Caribbean, but she barely got to be on Caribbean. And then she came in midway this season. Let her get a full season. Nunu is good TV. Good TV. And she's pretty. But Nunu ends up saying, Biggie got her hair braided up, looking like a boiled egg. She said, if you want to get in the pain, let's get it. But Summer, she's still arguing with Ahna, saying that because she done got back down from parasailing. Now she's back to arguing. And Ahna says, you so desperate for camera time looking like Lil Bill. Tasiki was over there laughing, and Summer ain't had shit to say. Ahna shut her up. She ain't have shit to say, so she ends up throwing something at Ahna. It's just funny because they're literally the same person. But their boat ends up kind of coming back to dock because Natalie's boat was already docked. And they're coming towards them, and Natalie's like, why they got security over there? They all looking over at them as they're arguing. You got Summer, Ahna, and Nunu. Summer, Scotty, and Ahna arguing. You got Biggie and Nunu arguing. And then you got Alexis trying to get her a moment because that's literally what it was. But their boat joins them, and Summer ends up saying, I'm going to beat the fuck out of Ahna and her chihuahua-looking ass. And Summer saying that Summer, it's too many S's, boy. That's why I cannot remember the names. Scotty ends up saying she going to hit Summer. She had to pretty much give herself a pep talk about it. Nunu and Biggie, they still going back and forth as they're getting off the boat. And Biggie says, why are we going back and forth? Because Nunu clearly ain't going to do nothing. We know you're not going to do nothing. And we're going to see it again at this reunion, which proves my point as always. When it comes to Biggie, y'all always ask why I don't like Biggie. That's why. She shows y'all every season. Y'all just fall. Y'all buy into this bullshit. Y'all can never get me to buy bullshit. I see people for who they are, and I will never fall for it again. One time you get me, that's okay. But the second time, you never going to get me. But they do that. Alexis, like I said, is now trying to have a moment, talking about how she going to jump in if it's a 2-on-1. You are right to do that. But why you got to keep talking about it? They're not even fighting at this point. Once they fight, then do it. You're not wrong to do that. Just do it. You just talking because you want a moment. You want that camera on you. That's what that is, Alexis. So she's sitting there going back and forth with Biggie about it. And Summer and Ahna, they getting even more heated. And Ahna throws something at Summer and it hit her good. And Ivory was cracking me up, talking about Summer, this is too much. Get me up out of here. And it's funny considering Ivory's past. Well, her saying this is hilarious. But next week looks good. This is where we starting to get into it. Ivory was cracking up laughing at Summer, and Ahna was going back and forth. Ahna snuck the fuck. That was a good sneak, boy. I ain't here for no sneaks, but if you're going to do it, this is how you do it. They were sitting down at the table, and Summer's laughing, engaged in the conversation, about to eat whatever I think it was ice cream. And Ahna snatches her wig back, and her head goes all the way back, and Ahna get the pop, knocked whatever she was about to eat on her chin. I'd have been mad if I was Summer. But Biggie and Nunu, they going back and forth, and then we finally see it. Dolly versus Jela in the club. This is what I've been waiting for. Been waiting for it to see how it begins. But Dolly, which they showed the ambulance, which I believe that was her on the ground, which we know from Ivory and Jela, they both said that she had OD'd, possibly, which I'm assuming is possibly due to her hand being in pain, which I hate that for her. I hate it. That's sad. That's going to be sad to watch. Because you can tell she probably was trying to numb that pain. Granted, like I said, she need to just calm down. Stop trying to fight so much. But that's sad. I hate that for her. But, yeah, that was the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. We'll be back tomorrow for the live. Make sure y'all bring y'all's drinks. If y'all wasn't there for my birthday last year, myself, Movie Bay, and Legend, we was drunk. I was definitely drunk. Well, we was drunk. We had a good time with the callers. Y'all call in. We had a good old time. We're going to do that tomorrow because it'll be Legend's birthday. So come with y'all's drinks. We're going to take some shots. We're going to recap this episode. We're probably going to talk a little bit about the reunion. But yeah, make sure to go subscribe to Movie Bay and Legend. Go subscribe to Legend for sure because Legend were on his channel this week for the podcast. Go subscribe to Jan as well because she also, we do the podcast too. But yeah, I think that's all I got to say. And then like I said, be on the lookout for that reunion video I'm going to do later on. But yeah, that's it. I'm signing off. Peace.